Excellennial here with another story-based Excel tutorial. Today I'm going to tell you a little bit more about Rachel, the jewelry maker. Rachel recently decided she wants to have one name column on her Etsy orders spreadsheet. The current layout is the first and last name in two separate columns. Rachel doesn't know how to combine the first and last name column, but there must be a way, right? Let's see. There are a couple of functions that we can use to join two cells into one cell. I'm going to start with TEXTJOIN. Since these are functions, we're going to start with the equal symbol. Then I'll start with TEXTJOIN, and the delimiter is going to be quote and whatever you want between the two items that you're adding together. In this case, we're adding names together, so we're going to add a space. Then add the rest of the quote. We're going to add a comma because we're done adding the delimiter. Ignore empty, we're going to set to true, just typing in true. We're saying true here because we do want this function to ignore any cells that we select that are empty. Technically, it doesn't matter if this is true or false just because we aren't going to be selecting any empty cells. But if we were to select multiple items and some of them could be empty, this would be a little bit more important. So I'll add the last comma and select D and drag it to E. Now you can see what our function looks like completely done, and I'll press enter. And now we have the name put together with a space in between just as we wanted it. I can drag these down as well, and it'll auto-formulate all of those cells. Something I do want to point out is that this is not something that is available on all versions of Excel, which is what is so great about the next option that we have, which is available on more options of Excel. So again, this is a function, so we will type equal again and type in concat. This one is concatenate, and it's formatted a little bit differently. So the first thing that we're going to do is select the first cell, which will be D12 in this case, comma, and then we want to be sure there's still a space in between the first and last name. So this is where we would type in the quote space quote. So it's formatted a little bit differently, but it's a little more literal too, because we're going to have the information from D2 display and then a space, and then I'll add the comma and select E12. So it displays the exact same way, except that it's formatted differently. So if we look up here in our function bar, it is D12 space E12. With this one, TEXTJOIN, it is space, true, ignore any empty cells, and join anything between D11 and E11. So they apply to different things in different ways, but in this case, because all we're doing is joining a first name and a last name, they apply both ways pretty easily. In my opinion, this one is a little bit easier with the concatenate function. I'm going to drag this one the rest of the way down, or we can also double click this, and then we have all of our full names here. I will copy this, and then we have to paste special. The reason being, as soon as we delete these, it's going to go away from our formula too. Since we used a formula in here, it's going to need to be paste special. So I'll right click to do that. Paste special will pop up here. And we always want to paste with values and select OK. We're going to want to do that anytime that we ever make a formula or function or use a function to collect data. And the reason being is that if we don't do the paste special and then we delete the old information that the function or formula was pulling data from, then our data will be skewed. So we'll have the exact information that we need here, as in the names with a space between the first and last name. And now we don't need these columns anymore, and we already have the data completely saved and properly pasted into this new column C. And there we go. Rachel's pretty excited because this gives her the exact layout that she was looking for, and she learned two ways to actually collect information from two different cells and add them to one cell with different kinds of spacers. If you have any questions, leave them in the comment section below, and until next time, have fun excelling!